Hey, it's Cal Knight again. I was going to try to do something a little different today. I recently got my mom involved in a game called Subnautica, and well, she's been having issues trying to get started. So I want to make a couple of tutorial, maybe at least one tutorial on getting started, things you have to do and stuff. And I might do another video of another build I have, but let's get started. So I'm gonna start a new game because I've already got some games going right now. But let's see here. Let's go with survival. Freedom allows you to play the game without having to worry about eating or drinking. You still can get attacked by things, and you still have to worry about your oxygen. Survival, you have to worry about your oxygen, getting attacked, but you also have to eat and drink. Then there's hardcore, which is you only get one life, so if you die without saving, you lose anything and everything, all progress. And I don't know, maybe well, anyways, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to start a survival game. And like I said, Subnautica, it's an interesting game. It's an independent game, not put out by any major companies, and it's actually a really nice looking game. Press A button to continue. And the graphics are actually rather amazing, even on a low computer or a computer with not a very strong graphics card. It still comes out pretty amazing looking. Wow, wow, wow. So of course, first thing you have to do is you have to. And you notice to use anything in a game, you have to right-click on whatever you're doing. You pick up with the left click. Emergency mode. Altera. This is considered an optimal outcome. For detailed survival advice. Alright, so tab open close. Now she was talking about how she didn't have a tutorial on this, but in survival mode you do kind of. You actually have. I'm gonna grab these because since we are in survival mode, we're gonna have to worry about eating and drinking. So two big things we're going to have to worry about getting first. You're going to need a knife because you're going to need that for survival. You're going to need a scanner because you're going to need to make stuff. And in order to make stuff in this game, in survival mode, you have to have a scanner to scan it first. There's a few things that you don't have to start off with, but like the tools, a few basics in gear. The O2 tank is probably going to be one of the major things you have to get to build first, because otherwise you only have like 45 seconds of breathe time. And your O2 tanks, you get your starting one's a standard. Later on, you get a a high capacity one. It lets you breathe longer underwater. So we're going to try and get 3 titanium, titanium and a silicon rubber, and titanium and a battery. So a battery requires 2 acid mushrooms and a copper ore. So we need 1 copper ore, 2 mushrooms, and something like, what, 3, 4, or 5 titanium. And since we are already needing something to eat, we'll probably eat and drink. Be merry. Alright. Now, most of the things in the game are pretty... Alright, so every new game, your life pod where it actually lands is different. It's not a set thing. Break limestone. You do that left clicking. So, unlikely, but plausible. And these give you titanium, 4 titanium a piece. So we need one of those. We probably have... Yep, already. Yeah, see, one of the problems about having no air packs, you can't just spend some time underwater. You have to, even when you open your PDA, you're still using up oxygen. The only way to really pause it is if you hit the escape key. That actually pauses it. Everything else, well, alright, so we should have enough for just O2 tank. See, that increases it up to about 75. Let's see what we need for the high capacity. For the high capacity, you need glass, so you need 4 titanium, you need silver ore. But right now what we need to do is we need to get stuff for a knife. And we need that from the creep vines, which I'm not seeing here. I'll grab some fish. Eventually we're going to need to... Woo! Peeper! Dr. Peeper! I don't need to have that on me, in my hand. Alright, something else for survival. You're going to need one of these. Bladderfish, you use that for water, and so we need mushrooms for the battery. Here we go. Creep vines. Creep vines are these seaweed-looking things. And I don't need... Keep it. One thing about the creep vines is that they have a tendency to grow near, or these are creatures that like to populate this area. Let's grab several because we... Now, one thing she was having issues with was she'd open up the fabricator and not figure out how to get back out of it. All you have to do is just click on the side, either right or left click, and it pops it back out. And bring up your PDA, just tab again, close it. But let's see here. So we need silicone. Gives us 2. I might go with lubricant. But I don't need to carry it right now, so I could throw that in the... You right click and it puts it in there automatically. Something you're going to use up a lot of is water, and you can use water. You could use use bladderfish to make water. It's just regular drinking water. I got 2 bladderfish. Gonna make 2 of them, and I also picked up a peeper. You could cook it. The only problem with cooking food is the problem is when you cook something, you have like a certain amount of time to eat it, or otherwise it starts rotting away real quickly. Let's get a med kit while we're here. I will eventually need to repair this, but I don't have to worry about it right now. Because in order to get your radio working and stuff, you need to actually repair this. If you play in the creative mode, you don't have to worry about it so much, but it's something to know what to do, especially in the survival. It affects your radio and advancement of the storyline. So we've got tools, and we got the silicone rubber, and we've got a titanium, so we've got our knife now. Now, so we got the 2 acid mushrooms and the copper ore. The copper ore we got from the limestone, I think it was. So we got our battery. Ah! So now I can make the power cell, which is necessary for vehicle construction. Vehicles use the power cells, but you need 2 batteries and a silicone rubber to make a power cell. And now we've got the scanner. Now you use your scanner for pretty much to scan everything in the game, every creature, every. It's gone to nighttime. But every creature anything that's usable in the game, you need to scan it to be able to. Well, you can use some of the stuff without scanning it, but there's things like anything you have to build requires a scan. And fish, if you get close enough to them, you can scan them too. It's just good to know what the different fish are good for. There's some fish and creatures that are not really the gasopod. They don't like you being too close to them, but they're pretty much harmless. And already I'm running out of oxygen. But that's basics of what you need to do for basic survival. You get the knife and the scanner. That's will be the best things to start off with. The first 2 things, because like I say, there's things all around on the map floor, on the bottom of the ocean stuff, the ocean floor. Things to scan. I don't know if I could find any of the... In the wreckages, we'll have things that, boxes of things that you can scan and stuff. One good thing that keep an eye out for are these brain corals. These bubbles. That's 10 air that they pop up. See? So if you can see those, and you're going pretty deep or something, or you plan on going deep, then especially early on when you don't have very ah, yeah. So that's the aurora. It'll the waters are radioactive, and so if you try and get to it before it blows up, um, it's not impossible, but it'd be very unlikely that you'll be able to get there before, because the radiation will eventually kill you if you're in it for long extended periods of time. And when it does blow up, they'll automatically give you the radiation suit. That's a giant coral. You'll need giant coral for making bleach, which is good for making water. Better quality water than just the water you get from the bladderfish. Okay, let's see. Writhing weed. Writhing weed, you can. I think you might be able to harvest it, but it's good for a bioreactor. Anything that you can harvest is usable in a bioreactor, but some things are better than others. There's a wiki page you can go to online for table coral. Something else you're going to be needing later on. Probably one other thing I might be able to show you is the repair tool, because you're going to need a repair tool, the scanner, the knife. And then there's a cutting torch too, but you have to find the pieces of that. That's found in the was the I don't remember the name of it, but it's a red grassy sea area. They've got boxes of it. Let's make some more water. So again, it's using bladderfish to make water. Cured food uses salt, and it won't rot as like cooked food does. Let's see, what was it? The repair tool. I just need sulfur. So I have to go. There's exploding fish that will they're like red fish, and they'll explode when they come near you. But they come out of a red flower-like thing, red flower-like plant. Oh shit! I probably could have scanned that. I got the table coral. Salvage. before I go down there, let me get my oxygen maxed out. There's two other things I need to point out. If you look to, well, that's about east from here. If you look southeast, southwest maybe, whatever it is, that clump of clouds there's actually an island there. It has food items, your basic habitat buildings. That one to north, that bubble of clouds there, that's the alien island. That one plays in the storyline, that alien island does. And quartz is good for making glass and a few other things. No, shoot! Those are the exploding fish. I don't remember the names of them off the top of my head. But, well, that's the sulfur I need. Those red flower plants, what those exploding fish come out of. See these red plants. Sulfur plant. There's an explosive fish that comes out of those. So each one of those bubbles gives you 10 air. Copper. The limestone deposits, they give you titanium, copper, I think that's made the two, titanium and copper. Quartz. Again, be careful because there's some of those exploding fish in here. Copper. I think it's silver. Silver's the other one that comes. Let's get out of here. No! If you ever get disoriented, you can also hit the space bar and that'll send you up towards the surface. And always, always, always keep swimming because even if things start turning black, like you're losing consciousness, if you get to the surface before it turns completely black, there's still a chance that you might pull out of it. Let's get back to the pod. All right. Yeah, we got more metal salvage. You probably aren't going to need glass until you actually start building your habitats. Let's see the repair kit. See, a flare is good for lighting up an area before you get power and stuff. Once you get power and habitat and stuff, it's kind of superfluous. It's not as necessary. But nice, you got silicone, rubber, cave sulfur, and titanium for repair tool. And to use any of your tools, just right click, In survival mode, you have to repair the radio because the radio is your lifeline to the outside world. It advances the storyline. Yeah, so other life pods were ejected at the when the crash happened, and this will be the place where you hear those transmissions, as well as other ships that are passing through space. And I think that should be about it. That's the basics for getting started. Um, there's other things I can work on and show you later on, maybe. But that should be the very basics how to get your repair tool, your knife, and your scanner. Those are probably 3 biggest things you need right off the bat, as well as food and water. And the bleach is a salt deposit coral tube. You need bleach to make distilled water, I think it was. Yeah, disinfected water, you need bleach. Filtered water, you just need bladderfish. That one gives you like 20 water. I think that one gives you like 30 or something like that. And well, that should be it for now. And let's save it. And I hope you enjoyed this first introduction to Subnautica. Um, if I get more comments, or if I know if anyone else wants to see more videos on Subnautica, I can show you one of my bases and one of my more advanced games and stuff. But until then, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again sometime, hopefully.